Top stories this evening. President Dr. Mohammad Muiz praised as unwavering dedication and resilience of workers in his message on the occasion of May Day. President extended his congratulations to Mark Joseph Carney, acknowledging his recent election as Canada's Prime Minister. And Maldives makes a big impression at this year's Arabian travel market in Dubai, with the country's tourism promotion efforts exceeding expectations, according to Tourism Minister.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to PSM News in English with me, Abdullah Ahil. And now the news in detail. In an address marking International Workers' Day, President Dr. Mohammad Muiz praises the unwavering dedication and resilience of workers, attributing the Maldives' progress and their prosperity to their efforts across diverse sectors. Observed globally on the 1st of May, International Workers' Day, also known as Labor Day or May Day, celebrates the labor movement and honors the working classes. The occasion serves as a reminder of the indispensable role workers play in shaping societies. Acknowledging this significance, President Muiz extended greetings to all Maldivians and expatriates whose work, regardless of scale, contributes to the nation's welfare. He also recognized the families of these workers, highlighting their vital role in supporting the workforce. The President reaffirmed the government's commitment to economic expansion and job creation, outlining efforts to enhance employee wages. He expressed optimism about initiatives to register service providers across various sectors and facilitate their access to housing schemes and bank loans, describing these measures as pivotal to national progress. Building on this vision, the President underscored the importance of fostering a robust work ethic and integrating skill development into the educational curriculum. He called for a concerted effort to increase the number of skilled professionals while stressing the need for sustained measures to regulate expatriate workers and enforce labor laws effectively. Reflecting on Islamic teachings, President Muiz drew upon the Sunnah and the guidance of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, affirming that earning a halal livelihood constitutes an act of worship. He urged every Muslim to strive towards productive work within their capacity, framing labor as both a moral and spiritual endeavor. The industriousness of Maldivians, a quality celebrated by historians chronicling the nation's history, was another focal point of the President's address. He noted that the enduring heritage left by ancestors stands as a testament to their craftsmanship and relentless efforts in nation building. Turning to the future, President Muiz issued an appeal to parents, urging them to instill diligence and a strong work ethic in their children. He called for a unified national effort to ensure that every Maldivian has access to employment, asserting that the nation's aspirations depend on this collective commitment. While recognizing the global observance of Workers' Day, the President highlighted that every day is, in essence, a celebration of workers. He credited the nation's daily advancements to their contributions and pledged the government's unwavering dedication to addressing their needs, enhancing their opportunities, and improving their livelihoods. Concluding his address, President Muiz paid tribute to the workforce, describing them as the driving force behind the Maldives' current achievements and future aspirations. He affirmed that the nation's strength and vitality lie in its diligent service providers, whose efforts will propel the Maldives to greater heights. President Dr. Mohammad Muiz on Thursday extended his congratulations to Mark Joseph Carney, acknowledging his recent election as Canada's Prime Minister. In his message, President Muiz commended the Liberal Party for their resounding electoral success, which secured a fourth consecutive term in office. The President characterized the election outcome as a reflection of the Canadian people's trust in Prime Minister Carney's leadership. He expressed confidence that under Carney's stewardship, Canada would continue to uphold its democratic values, freedoms, and national unity. The president expressed confidence that Canada, under Prime Minister Carney's leadership, would achieve greater prosperity and continue to contribute meaningfully on the global stage. He concluded his message by extending his best wishes for Carney's health and for the continued progress and well-being of the Canadian people. The Liberal Party's victory is achieved amidst the challenges of an ongoing trade dispute with the United States. Led by Carney, the party prevailed over its main rival, the Conservative Party, headed by Pierre Poilievre. Results from the election held for the 343-member House of Commons revealed the Liberal Party's projected success in securing a sufficient number of seats to form a government. According to the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, CBC, the Liberals were leading or victorious in 169 seats, just shy of 172 seat threshold required for a majority. The Conservatives were leading or victorious in 144 seats. The election also saw notable performances from other parties. The Bloc Québécois, a regional party advocating for Quebec's interests, secured 22 seats. The New Democratic Party, NDP, led by Jagmeet Singh, won 7 seats, while the Green Party claimed 1. President Dr. Mohammad Muiz has designated Hiri Naidu Island as part of Nellaidu in Ha Dal Atoll under the Decentralization Act. The decree issued on Wednesday formalizes the inclusion of Hiri Naidu as part of Nellaidu and amends a previous decree on establishing inhabited islands in the Maldives. It also mandates the official use of the Divehi and English names of Hiri Naidu for administrative purposes. The administrative change fulfills a commitment made by the president during his visit to Ha Dal Atoll in February 2024. Aimed at enabling Nellaidu residents to derive economic benefit from Hiri Naidu. Speaking to Nellaidu residents, President Muiz announced the government's plans to establish a modern digital platform to market and sell products online in order to provide opportunities for income generation while remaining in their island's region or islands. The Parliament has approved the appointment of Mujtaz Mohammed as the Vice President of the Civil Service Commission, CSC. Mujtaz was appointed as a CSC member by President Dr. Mohammad Muiz on the 20th of April. The President sought Parliament approval to appoint him as CSC's Vice President the following day. After the Parliament Committee on Independent Institutions endorsed the nomination, the Parliament approved the appointment with 64 votes in favor. A lawyer by profession, Mujtaz holds a Bachelor of Law from the Maldives College of Higher Education. He has previously served as Minister of State for Presidential Affairs and as a Member of Parliament for Hanimadu. His government experience extends across various senior roles. Mujtaz succeeds Ibrahim Rashid, who resigned from the commission amid efforts to remove him through parliamentary proceedings. He will be formally appointed as the Vice President of CSC by President Muiz the following parliamentary approval. The Maldives has made a big impression at this year's Arabian travel market in Dubai, with the country's tourism promotion efforts exceeding expectations.
Minister of Tourism Tariq Ibrahim says the Maldives received an overwhelmingly positive response at ATM 2024. Held at the Dubai World Trade Center from April 28 to May 1st, the fair is one of the world's largest travel trade events and a key platform this year for the Maldives to connect with the Middle East travel market. The Maldives Marketing and Public Relations Corporation MMPRC led a strong delegation of 110 local companies and 235 industry professionals. Speaking to PSM News, Minister Tariq said that the interest they received was beyond expectations. He noted that the GCC is a premium market that brings in sufficient revenue to the tourism industry. Minister Tariq added that meetings with Gulf Airlines and government officials already resulted in new agreements, which will give a major boost to the Maldives' tourism goals. Resorts at the Maldivian stand also reported more business appointments than anticipated. The government is aiming to attract 2.3 million tourists this year and says the success at ATM is a strong step towards reaching this target.
The Maldivian government has reminded locals traveling to Thailand to submit the digital arrival card as the new change to Thailand's immigration law comes into effect from Thursday. The Embassy of Maldives in Thailand, in a post on X, reminded Maldivians that in accordance to the Thai Immigration Act, from May 1st onwards, all foreign nationals entering into Thailand by land, air or sea are required to submit Thailand Digital Arrival Card (TDAC) within 3 days prior to the arrival date. However, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs had earlier assured that despite the change, Maldivians will receive a 90-day entry visa from Thailand. Thailand is a country frequented by Maldivians for various purposes such as holiday, medical treatment, and business. It is also a country where Maldivian families are residing for higher education purposes. The website for the National Juvenile Justice Conference 2025 has been launched. The conference on the strengthening of the juvenile justice system will be held from the 10th to the 12th of May, the first such conference involving all key stakeholders. The media partner of the conference is Public Service Media. While a dedicated website for the conference has been launched, the website will provide comprehensive information related to the conference, including discussion topics, keynote speakers, and panel discussions. According to the Prosecutor General's office, the main objective of the conference is to seek solutions to the issues within the system through evidence-based approaches. The conference also aims to identify ways to reduce the barriers to collaboration between the different agencies involved in the field and to bring about reforms. 8 research papers will be presented at the conference, including papers submitted by government agencies, colleges, and universities. 2 keynote speakers will also participate in the event. The conference will be attended by 16 agencies as technical participants, including the Prosecutor's Office, United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, Maldives Police Service, Ministry of Social Family and Development, colleges, and various agencies. 11 agencies are participating as observers. The conference will feature discussions, information exchange, and panel discussions. Bank of Maldives BML has announced the opening of applications for the Bank Fund, an initiative introduced last year to empower non-governmental organizations (NGOs) to contribute to their communities through sustainable projects. Under this fund, 5 selected projects in the areas of education, environment, sports, and community development will each receive $12,970. According to BML, only clubs and associations registered in Maldives are eligible to apply. The deadline for submissions is Thursday, the 29th of May. Last year, BML supported 5 NGOs under the scheme Murakka Farm, Children of Maldives, Diggaru Ekuveri Zuwanuge Gulung, Veimandu Zuwanuge Gulung, and Unity Sports Academy. In addition to the Bank Fund, BML has provided assistance to 100 projects across the Maldives through its Community Fund, which ran for a period of 5 years starting from 2019. BML continues to place great importance on empowering communities and contributing to the development efforts of the country. President Donald Trump said that he has potential trade deals with India, South Korea, and Japan as he seeks to convert his tariff policy into trade agreements.
At a town hall on the news station television network, Trump was asked when he would be announcing agreements with those 3 countries.
And I felt very foolish being the head of a country where Europe gets their money back and it's a much smaller amount, and we get nothing. So I went to them and said, look, we got to get rare earth. They have great rare earth, meaning certain minerals, materials. They have things that a lot of places don't have. It's a big asset that they have. And we made a deal today where we get, much more in theory than the $350 billion. But I wanted to be protected. I didn't want to be out there and look foolish. And this is not my war. This is Biden's war. I'm just trying to stop it.
Trump said they have potential deals coming up ahead.
I could set those deals tomorrow and do away with negotiating. But we're negotiating with South Korea. We're negotiating with Japan. We're negotiating with a lot of different, many. India is a very big, they want to make a deal so badly.
Okay.
I'm not telling anything out of school. We're going to make great deals for America instead of bad.
Well,
Trump added that he was in no rush to conclude the deals because the United States is reaping the benefits of the tariff he has imposed.
Wildfires continued to burn on the outskirts of Jerusalem, where fire lines were formed by firefighting engineering vehicles to prevent the fire from spreading into communities and other areas. Reuters footage showed aerial tankers extinguishing the fire in the area of Latrun near Jerusalem and revealed acres of scorched land and smoke billowing over the surrounding hilltops. Smoke billowed around the Latrun monastery, while efforts to extinguish the fires continued. The fire started on Wednesday when strong winds and hot temperatures intensified the flames, forcing several communities to evacuate. The main highway connecting Tel Aviv and Jerusalem was also partly closed off. The fire broke out on Israel's Memorial Day for fallen soldiers and continued as Israel transitioned into celebrations of its 77th anniversary. Ukraine and the U.S. signed a deal heavily promoted by U.S. President Donald Trump that will give the United States preferential access to new Ukrainian minerals deals and fund investment in Ukraine's reconstruction. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Ukrainian First Deputy Prime Minister Yulia Svirindenko were shown signing the agreement in photos posted on Svirindenko's Facebook page. Svirindenko also wrote on X that the accord provides for Washington to contribute to the fund. The two countries signed the accord in Washington after months of sometimes fraught negotiations, with uncertainty persisting until the last moment with word of an 11th-hour snag. UK startup Magdrive says the future of spacecraft propulsion will be electric and powered by metal, aiming to improve how satellites move in space. Magdrive's Rogue thruster is a pulsed plasma propulsion system that uses solid metal propellant and stores energy in onboard supercapacitors. Weighing just 2.5 kilograms, it is designed for compact satellite applications. It is designed to allow spacecraft to maneuver close to each other in low Earth orbit or LEO with increased power and accuracy and a fuel supply that will last far longer than traditional liquid fuels.
So Magdrive is developing a high-power electric plasma thruster for satellites and spacecraft. So once the launch vehicle has dropped a satellite off in orbit, a satellite propulsion system is needed to move it around in space, to take it to different orbits, to accomplish different maneuvers, including getting it out of the way of other satellites. At the moment, those options are really limited. You can either have a lot of thrust, or you can have a lot of miles per gallon, or efficiency. We're building the best of both worlds with a system which has the same high efficiency as existing systems, but with a magnitude improvement in thrust, with a magnitude reduction in volume and mass. That means that we can open up entirely new capabilities and services for satellites to maneuver without regret and to go to entirely new orbits than they could before.
The company says a step change in maneuverability will not just allow space operations to continue in an increasingly congested low Earth orbit, but herald a new era of science, research, and manufacturing.
We're going from putting hundreds of spacecraft a year up to thousands of spacecraft a year into space very shortly, and these spacecraft are all going to really the same location. So we're going to have to spend a lot more time and a lot more of the spacecraft's propellant avoiding collisions, maintaining the orbit. So that's the stick, but the carrot is if we can solve the issues there, if we can enable spacecraft to be agile and efficient to do that, we enable a whole raft of other business models, in particular spacecraft coming together, operating in close proximity to build things such as large structures for like science, such as big telescopes, or building big solar collectors to harvest energy for Earth, or even building large factories to build valuable things in space, such as atom-perfect semiconductors or new types of drugs and things I can't even imagine, frankly. We're going to enable this entire new ecosystem to exist in space, which will benefit everyone on Earth and enable us to push further into the solar system.
In June 2025, MagDrive will test its Rogue thruster in orbit aboard a deorbit mission, a critical step toward validating its high-thrust metal-fueled propulsion in microgravity, with 2 thrusters deployed on deorbit's ION satellite carrier, a space logistics platform to deliver satellites to precise orbits and enable in-orbit services over a 6-month mission.
So metal is a fantastic propellant for satellite systems. It's completely inert. It doesn't need to be pressurized. There's lots of it here on Earth, and we don't need much of it to go on each satellite. Even better, there's a lot of metal out in space as well. A lot of companies are already looking at recycling junk satellites, taking the metal out of asteroids and from what they can get from mining on the moon. And we're working with those companies already so that we can make the MagDrive refuelable. That means that we can close the loop on a new space-age economy and use the resources that are there instead of having to bring them from Earth every single time. That's like building a new train every time you leave the station, and you don't build railroads that way.
The Rogue thruster fits within a 2U CubeSat. It draws power from a solar array, storing it in supercapacitors before discharging to turn the metal propellant into a high-energy plasma which is expelled in steerable pulses. MagDrive says it has plans for a more powerful thruster that can be refueled in space, potentially providing significantly extended propulsion capability. That's all the news we have for today. We will be back with any further updates. Until then, I'm Abdullah Ahil from PSM News.